How has the current situation in the Middle East escalated to a point where U.S. bases are under frequent attack? Let's delve into this pressing question. Recently, the Ain al-Assad air base in Iraq, where U.S. forces are stationed, experienced a drone attack. The Islamic resistance in Iraq claimed responsibility, stating the strike was a direct response to the ongoing Israeli aggression on the Gaza Strip. This attack was not an isolated event. In fact, it marked the second such incident in just 48 hours. The United States' support for Israel in the face of escalating conflict in the Gaza Strip has become a lightning rod, sparking retaliatory attacks on U.S. bases. The impact of these attacks is tangible, with dozens of injuries reported, but thankfully, no fatalities among the U.S. forces stationed in the region. The situation on the ground is fraught with tension, with U.S. bases under frequent attack. The question remains, how will the U.S. respond to these escalating events? To fully grasp the severity of the situation, we need to take a step back and look at the timeline of these attacks. Let's rewind to October 17th, when the U.S. Defense Department reports the beginning of a series of approximately 74 attacks on American bases in Syria and Iraq. These attacks, purportedly in response to the United States' support for Israel amidst ongoing aggression in the Gaza Strip, have been a mix of drone strikes, bombings, and rocket assaults. The frequency and intensity of the attacks have been on an alarming upward trajectory, with American forces constantly under threat. Despite the hostile environment, U.S. forces have demonstrated remarkable resilience. The attacks have indeed resulted in dozens of injuries, but thankfully, no fatalities among the U.S. forces have been confirmed. The most notable incident occurred in March when a suspected Iranian drone attacked U.S. positions in Syria. This strike resulted in the death of a U.S. contractor and injuries to several American troops. The retaliation from the U.S. was swift and decisive, targeting Iranian-linked groups in Syria. However, the U.S. has been largely restrained in its responses, often choosing not to retaliate to avoid escalation. This strategic decision reflects the U.S.'s awareness that engaging these militias could lead to regional chaos. As the number of attacks rises, the pressure on the U.S. to respond grows. Yet, the U.S. has been cautious in its retaliatory actions, seeking to avoid escalating the situation further. In this complex situation, it's crucial to understand the bigger picture. Why is the U.S. holding its fire? The reasons are more strategic than you might initially think. The United States, in choosing not to retaliate immediately, is striving to avoid a dangerous escalation. The goal is to prevent the situation from spiraling into regional chaos, a scenario that could have far-reaching implications beyond the immediate conflict zone. The U.S.'s strategic goals in the region are multifaceted. On one hand, there is the ongoing battle against ISIS, a struggle that requires a delicate balance of power and diplomacy. On the other, there is the need to prevent regional conflicts with Iran-backed proxies from escalating, a task that becomes increasingly complex with each new incident. In this high-stakes environment, the safety of American forces and citizens is paramount. This is a key objective that underpins all strategic decisions. Yet achieving this goal is not simply a matter of retaliating against every attack. Instead, it requires a careful balancing act, one that weighs the immediate need for a defensive response against the potential for strategic gains or losses. But the United States isn't just reacting to events on the ground. It's also actively working on several fronts to prevent the conflict from spreading. These efforts include assisting Israel with security, securing the release of hostages held by Hamas, and ensuring that the war does not spread beyond Gaza. While the situation remains volatile, the U.S. continues to walk a tightrope, balancing its need to protect its forces with the desire to prevent further escalation. The coming days will undoubtedly be crucial in shaping the future of this region.